There are a ton of characters in Genshin Impact, and almost every single patch new ones come out. And for certain characters, people had to wait almost an entire year for their favorites to rerun. So based on past patterns and future predictions, let's talk about when every single character is going to get their rerun. Welcome to Jello Impact, where we build and test every single character to help you decide who you want to wish for and build. The reason why I'm making this video is because when I stream and in the comments, I see a lot of people asking, hey, when is so-and-so gonna rerun? When is so-and-so gonna rerun? Should I be saving for Rite? When is Rite coming? When is Venti coming? When is Zhao coming? When is Ganyu coming? And it's basically non-stop. Now, some of them, we have a better idea than others. We have people that may have predestined some certain information, or they've maybe had special dreams about future information that might be coming. Especially some of the banners that are coming up sooner, we have a much better idea as to what's going on. And then the ones that are more further away will be a lot more speculative on my part. But if you're ever curious, you can check out this website. It's called paimon.moe/banners, and it tells you exactly how long it's been since every single character got a rerun. So really nice tool, and not only does it show 5 stars here, but if you scroll down, it also shows how long it's been since 4 stars have gotten a rerun. So for example, it's been 10 patches since Xingqiu had a rerun. It was 14 for Noelle, 11 for Jinyan, 13 for Goro, 9 for Kale. So you can see there's been a lot. And then for weapons, we can see how long it's been since they've been on the weapon banner too, which is really neat. 40 banners since Aquila Favoni has been. That's crazy. 44 since Wolf's Gravestone. That's wild. 38 for the Skyward Atlas. 39. It seems like they're stopping doing the standard banner weapons. Skyward Pride been a long time, but it's also been pretty long for Engulfing Lightning. Hunter's Path has been a really long time. How will they rerun Hunter's Path? When will they? Or like the Stringless has been 7 banners. They haven't released the Lithic weapons in a long time. Lithic Blade, the Official's Bow, the Midden Waltz, the Zyphos Moonlight's been a while. So it's all really interesting stuff. But let's get into what you actually came here for. What are the banners going to be for starting with 4.2? No, 4.1. So for 4.1, we have a pretty good idea that it's going to be Hu Tao. There's a few reasons for this. One of this, it's Halloween. Of course, we get Hu Tao on Halloween. Just makes sense. And yeah, that's the main reason I think it's going to be Hu Tao. The next one I think that's going to be coming in 4.1, because of course we already know that Risley and Neuvillette are going to be in 4.1. Make sure to check out my video as to which one is the better pull. I'll link it to the end. But I think Venti will be the next rerun as well, because generally at the beginning of each new patch, we start like this Archon rerun trend where every patch there's one Archon that's rerun. So in 4.0 we had Zhongli, and I think 4.1 it's going to be Venti. It's either going to be Raiden or Venti. Nahida was too recently. She was just pretty much here. So I think it's going to be Venti because Raiden reran sooner than Venti has. So I think it's going to be Venti. So we're going to have Ryosley, Neuvillette, Venti, and Hu Tao. Then moving into 4.2, it's almost definitely going to be the Archon. So that'll be our new character for 4.2. I expect just one new character for 4.2. I also don't expect a different Archon to rerun during 4.2. I just expect it to be Full Solar. And along with Full Solar, I expect to see Ayato come back. I think Ayato makes a lot of sense because we're basically getting this pattern of Hydro character after Hydro character after Hydro character after Hydro character. We had Kokomi, then we had Yelan, then we had Child, then we're going to have Neuvillette, then we're going to have Farina, and then we have Ayato. It just makes sense. And I think people have also had some dreams that Ayato might be the character upcoming. In addition to that, I think Baiju is due for a rerun. He hasn't had a rerun at all yet, and it's getting up to, it's been a little while since we've had Baiju out, so I think Baiju would make a lot of sense here. And then alongside Baiju, he is the best partner to Sino, so I do expect them to release them and rerun them together. It's also been a little bit since Sino last reran, so I expect Sino and Baiju, they often really like to pair characters that work well together so that you have to spend your whole Primo Gem stash and hopefully have to spend actual money, because if they released Sino and then gave you time to save for Baiju, then they wouldn't make as much money as if they put them at the same time, so then you have to spend if you want to get them both. So that's what I think for 4.2. Let's start getting a visual going here. So I think that this is what we're going to be expecting for 4.1 for 4.2. So now we're entering the realm of being much more speculative. But for 4.3, I do think that there is one that's much more likely than the others, and that is going to be Raiden, because again, the pattern of Archon after Archon after Archon after Archon, I expect Raiden to come for 4.3. And I do want to start here, like we've identified quite a number of the characters that are going to be coming, so this is kind of who I'm expecting so far. And as you're planning this out, you want to take a look at who all is upcoming and say, okay, these are the characters that I really want, and you can even plan out how many primos can I realistically get if I'm doing my daily commissions, if you have Welkin or not. Usually they give out a certain amount of primo gems each patch. If you have Welkin, I calculated back when I was free to play that it's almost like clockwork. Every single patch I could guarantee 1 5-star. You get about 2 wishes per day. There's 40 some odd days per patch, so you get about 80 wishes, and so you can basically guarantee 1 5-star. But it's not a limited 5-star, so you really have to choose. Very helpful to know what the average primo gems are going to be. And this is from 2.8, but it really hasn't changed a lot since then. So if you're free to play, you're averaging 8,250 primo gems per patch. If we divide that by 160, that's 51 wishes per patch. If you're free to play plus Welkin, that's 86 wishes per patch, so you're guaranteed 1 5-star, just like I was saying. And then if you add battle pass in, you're looking at 94 wishes. So with average luck, you'll usually 1 on banner 5-star per patch, but just to be safe, you might want to say guarantee 1 every 2 patches. So as a free to play, you're not really getting a whole ton of characters, so it's really helpful to know who's coming up and who you need to plan for. So let's say if you're really saving for Rite, what I like to do is have a stash, have at least 50, 60, 70 wishes put aside, maybe even 80 or 90, even 100 wishes, just to be absolutely safe, put away. And then everything over that 100 wishes you can spend on anyone you might want to get, because maybe you can get lucky and get someone else. So that's what you really want to make sure that you're planning things out. But back to the patches, I think after Rite, I think Ito, it's been a really long time, and I also think that a new character is likely. I'm guessing Navia, and then I've also know Albedo has been a really long time. So the reason why I'm putting all these together is, to me, it kind of makes the most sense. Obviously we know we're gonna have Raiden. I'm thinking maybe Ito, because you've got the Inazuma connection. We know Navia is gonna have to come eventually, and since it's been a really long time for Ito and a really long time for Albedo, we take a look at our handy dandy sheet. It's been 16 rerun cycles since we've had Albedo, and 13 since Ito. So they're some of the longest characters that have not rerun. So I would definitely expect them to come sooner than later. And Navia, if she's obviously going to be a Geo character, we know that. So I think it makes sense for her to rerun with the other Geo characters, because maybe she's going to be playing well with them, maybe she's going to be supporting them, or maybe she'll want to have Albedo to support her. I think that's at least somewhat likely. So that's my speculation. Again, we're really in the speculation territory now. Before we go into Lantern Rite, I'm going to explain something that I think that they're going to introduce there, and that is 3 banner phases. Now, I don't quite mean triple banners. Let me show you what I mean. It's no secret that we have way too many 5-stars to rerun consistently. Obviously waiting for over a year for Eula, it's unacceptable. And the more new characters we get, it's going to be even longer. And I don't think Genshin Impact wants to do this either. I think they're going to want to increase their revenue. I think they're going to want to rerun characters faster. And I do think it's going to start with Lantern Rite for reasons I'll talk about in a minute. But what exactly do I mean? So right now we have phase 1 and phase 2. A lot of people think for triple banners, well, we're going to get a 3rd character added to each one. But there's a couple reasons that I don't think that this is going to happen. Number 1, analysis paralysis. I think when people look at too many choices, sometimes they just choose nothing, and it's just stressful and frustrating and not the best experience. And I just think it's not what Genshin Impact is about. I think they try and keep things more simple and keep the choices more simple. And the second reason, which I think is even stronger than the first, is that the weapon banner would absolutely be a complete mess if they did this. What are they going to do? 33% for each character? They'd have to rework the whole weapon banner system, and I don't expect that they're going to do that at this stage of the game. I don't think so at all. So what I'm proposing is we have 21-day patches, right? We have this is all 4.0, and we have phase 1 is 21 days, phase 2 is 21 days. That's what we have right now. I'm proposing that instead we move to 3 banner phases. So instead of having 2 phases, we have 3, and they're 14 days each. So you shorten each by a week and have another one that's 2 weeks at the end. So within one patch, you can now run 3 sets of characters. You keep the weapon banners the same. The only thing that changes is the length of time that the days are on the banner. And before anyone gets mad, it's like, oh, I don't have as much time to save for my favorite character. Well, relax. Your primo gem income does not change. It actually stays exactly the same. The only thing that increases is your choices and the frequency which you can make those choices. Imagine if all the characters were available and they reset, or if a new character was available every day, that would only be a good thing, because that means you wouldn't have to wait as long for your favorite character to rerun. If the banner changed every single day, and you had every single character would refresh every 2.5 months. So you'd at most have to wait 2.5 months for your favorite character, and you could just save up, snipe the character you wanted, and then wait for the next character. That would only be a good thing. If every single character was available all the time, that would only be a good thing. So rerunning sooner is faster. We're not increasing the amount of new characters. This is only a good thing. And I do think it will happen, and I do think it will happen with Lantern Rite, but let's get back to the video. Lantern Rite, I think is very interesting to discuss because we always have Lantern Rite at 4.4, and this is the Genshin, it's the real Genshin anniversary, right? We have our, Genshin anniversary coming up in 4.1 or 4.2, I can't remember which one, but 4.4 is the real anniversary. This is the Chinese New Year version in Genshin. So we go to Liyue, you have this great festival, and we have the Lantern Rite festival every year in X.4, whatever the 4.4 region is. So what's going to happen in 4.4? They're always banger banners. They're really, really high value banners because they expect especially people from China to spend a lot during Lantern Rite. It's a time to spend and to give gifts, and so lots of people are receiving money, and it's very customary that they're going to spend a lot on their favorite game like Genshin. So it's a time where they really want to have good banners out there to spend, and I would not be surprised if they introduced triple banner phases during Lantern Rite. It could be earlier, it could be 4.3, but I could see it being Lantern Rite to give people extra incentive to spend because they're going to be the most open to spending at that time. There's going to be the best rewards in Genshin at the time, and I expect Lantern Rite to be a big deal. So what do I expect for Lantern Rite? I expect Nahida for sure. It makes perfect sense. Arguably the best Archon, one of the best characters in the game. I definitely expect Nahida to show up, and again, we continue our Archon trend of having Archons 4.1, 4.2, 4.3, 4.4. So I definitely expect that. I expect Zhao. It's been a while since we've had Zhao. Zhao has a history of rerunning on Lantern Rite, not every single time, but pretty common. And I expect other good characters. I expect Alhaitham, potentially Shenhe. If Shenhe is rerunning, I kind of expect Ayaka. So again, I think it's going to be triple banner. So I think it's going to be not triple, but 3 phases of 2. So Nahida plus, Alhaitham, for example. Then Zhao, then Shenhe plus Ayaka, and then I expect Zhao plus a new character. And there's been some rumors, there's been some predictions. If you want absolutely 0 character predictions that might be somewhat accurate, if you want no predictions, no dreams, no speculations, then don't look at what I'm about to say next, and you can just click off, or you can skip ahead. But this is really going to be all, so you might as well just click off. 3, 2, 1 is going to be this character, Cloud Retainer. And apparently we don't know what they're going to do, but I think they might work with Zhao or be a similar type of character to Zhao. And this is my prediction for this patch. Nahida, Alhaitham, Shenhe plus Ayaka. I'm pointing at the wrong ones. Shenhe plus Ayaka, and Zhao plus Cloud Retainer. This is what I think and what I see coming up for Genshin Impact. I think that these 4.1 and 4.2 are pretty solid. 4.3 and 4.4 are my educated guesses, sort of based on patterns, based on trends, based on what we've seen before. I'm actually pretty confident. I actually think that this could hold up. The other characters that need a rerun eventually are Nilou, Yaimiko, and then we need a release date for Chlorand, and we need also Arlecchino. So I think these characters, I don't know when they're gonna release. I don't know when that they're coming. I'm hoping Chlorand comes earlier than 4.5, but I'm not holding out any hope. And then all the other characters, right, with Kazuha, Yoimiya, Wanderer, Ganyu, Klee, Linny, and Eula, I'm sure that they will come back at some point soon. I mean, just watch them put Kazuha, here, just to mess with me. But I think that this is pretty good. Let me know what you would change. Let me know your predictions in the comments. If you want more videos like this, let me know. Please consider subscribing. It really helps out the channel, and it's completely free for you. If you want to do something that's not free and you want to support the channel, check out my Patreon. You get priority access to account reviews, and you help support my family as we're doing this full time. If you want to join a great community of people and you want to discuss this and you're pulling plans for the future, check out our Discord. And if you don't want to do any of that, that is totally fine. Just watching the video has been more than enough. Thanks so much. Bye for now.